Hi guys, so this is our Acquire a Farm for this week. As you know, for Acquire a Farm, we're always analysing our text. So read it and enjoy it, and then we'll have a look together. So I will read this one to us first. So we'll start up at the top here. Wampa Cave. By the way, written by Mr. Cooper for something we did last year in English with the other Year 5s. So you might see this again later on in the year. In the inhospitable lands of Hoth, the ice and wind cascaded around the barren landscape. The wind howled with its snarling teeth, biting at anything that dared to venture or be lost in the snowstorm. As darkness cloaked the mounts of snow, that should be mounds, death was waiting in the howling shadows. Protected from the raging storm, a cave lay hidden under the comfort of glistening snow. Majestic stalactites hung from the cave ceiling like priceless chandeliers, and the floor was carpeted in thick, pure white cover of snow. We're here. However, in the darkest corners lay the broken remains of unlucky creatures killed, not by the storm, but by something far more malevolent. Nothing stirred in this cave of ice other than the deep, gut-wrenching sound of snarling and breaking bones. Ooh. Hung by his feet, a young Jedi, Luke Skywalker, was unconscious, blooded and bruised. His shallow, warm breaths were the only sign of life as he hung helpless and unaware of his impending doom. Flickering his eyes, Luke began to take in his surroundings. There was nothing but snow, ice, and blood. A surge of fear instantly penetrated his stomach, and his heart began to beat out of his chest. Struggling to free himself, Luke found it was no use. Out the corner of his eye, he spotted a shadow. What he saw next caused him to freeze as still as the surrounding ice. A Wampa, a beast with vicious horns that curled from its blood-soaked mouth to the caverns above. It was ripping flesh from the bones of its earlier victim with claws of immense power. Ooh. So, once you've had a read of that, it's now a chance to have a little look at any questions we've got, any words you don't understand. Instantly, what is that? Wampa. Inhospitable, that might be a word we're not sure of. Lands of Hoth. Where's that? Some of you might know, some of you might not. The reason I know it's a place is because it says of lands of Hoth and it's a capital letter. So I know it's a place name. The ice and wind cascaded. You might not know what cascaded means. Around the barren, another one here, barren landscape. The wind howled with its snarling teeth. Oh, now, that's great personification. Humans can snarl. It's just giving it a personality, isn't it? And biting as well. Biting at anything that dared to venture or be lost in the snowstorm. Mounds of snow. Death was waiting in the howling shadows. Death was waiting in the howling shadows is an example of a metaphor which we haven't looked at a lot yet because but they're very similar to similes. But whereas a simile is or is as something, the metaphor is saying it is that thing. So it's literally that's what it is. So it's not a simile would be as darkness cloaked the mounds of snow, it was like death was waiting. I'm not saying it's like that. I'm saying death is waiting. Death was waiting in the howling shadows. Pacific Range shores. Cave lay hidden under the comfort of glistening snow. Majestic stalactites. See, there might be some words you're not sure of in here. Chandeliers might be hard to decode potentially. You've got yourself a simile here. So hung from the cave like priceless chandeliers. Nice sort of simile you've got going there. And the floors carpeted in thick pure. However, the darkest corners lay remains of unlucky creatures. Nothing stirred in this cave. Gut-wrenching sound of snarling and breaking bones. Now we get to this bit. This is probably where you got the most questions. It might be that you don't know what that is. It might be that you don't know who this character is. Was unconscious and bruised. So whoever he is, he's hung by his feet, unconscious, and bruised. Well, why? What's happened? Has he been captured? Did he pass out? You know, if he's in this if he's in this cave, how's he got there? As he hung helpless and unaware of his impending doom. What does that mean, impending? Flickering his eyes, Luke began to take his surroundings. So, skim read, surge of fear instantly penetrated his stomach. Skim read, found it was no use. Out of the corner of his eye spotted a shadow, so next froze him as still as the surrounding heights. Another nice little simile there. Also describing how he's feeling, so using the environment around. A Wampa. Here we go. We don't know what that is, but it does say it's a beast with ferocious horns, blood-soaked mouth. Yeah, I like that. Blood-soaked horns that curl from its blood-soaked mouth. I like all of that. Ripping flesh from the bones of earlier victims. Alright, so this one here, when you analyse it, you might not think, actually, there's not too much to analyse, but you've got to know the text, you've spotted some good description in there, and there are a few questions loitering around. You know, how has he got there? You might not know who he is. You know, the big question is, how has he got there? Has he been captured? Has he passed out? Some of you might know this very well, so there might not be too much that you need to jot down. But, nonetheless, scribble anything down, especially the words. If there's some words that you're not sure of, potentially take a look. Okay, so that was our video for today for our Acquire a Fine. Hopefully you enjoyed the text and spotted a few things that you might like to use yourself in the future.